Hey, all. Thank you for joining another exciting podcast about hybrid cloud partners. I'm Adam Burke, and I'm joined by my co-host, Fede Pacheco. And today we have another exciting guest from a Microsoft partner. Fede, do you want to tell us a little more about that?
That's right. We have Pax8 in the room. We are so excited to have the perspective of a partner that is not only crucial in our DCO journey, into that journey of meeting partners and customers where they are across their hybrid cloud conversations, but at the same time, they have been working with us for years, working with hundreds of partners and even more customers on this. So their experience and insights are just as crucial as all of the things that we've mentioned in I believe it's been 8 episodes before this one about Microsoft programs and Microsoft incentives, and you can do all this. Well, when you're working with an indirect provider like Pax8, you get so much more from them, and they're just a critical piece. I'm so thrilled to welcome Angelika Schmeing here. She's a cloud leader and senior director for Pax8 Microsoft Alliances in North America. How are you doing, Angelika?
Thanks, Fede. I'm doing real great. I'm happy to be here. Thanks for having me, Adam.
Of course. And do you want to tell us more about Pax8?
Yes. So we've been working in the channel with our MSPs for quite some time now. I think 13 years.
Wow.
And our partner base are true managed service providers, so it's very different. I've been working in the channel for 9 years, and that's a key differentiator of Pax8. One off is our partners are true MSPs and not just licensing resellers. Not that there's nothing wrong with that, but when it comes to programs like data center optimization or hybrid cloud programs, that's very core to our MSPs. The other very, very important thing to note about Pax8, our organization, is like we have the leading marketplace. We announced and launched and kicked it off available to our partners now since June in our 2024 Beyond event. And we have even more features coming out that I can't really talk about right now, but we're very excited for our MSPs. And it truly is the marketplace that an MSP within this channel would want to transact on. So please check that out. And yes, I'm happy to have a conversation about, data center optimization and other hybrid cloud topics that you want.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. Thank you again for making the time today. I think it's really interesting where you mentioned, how you, Pax8, as an indirect provider, really specialize in that managed services space. In this rapid era of, AI innovation, we're seeing transformation occur all over the place. Maybe you can kind of just help our audience by defining, what does it mean to be a managed services provider today?
Yes. So a lot of changes, a lot of buzzwords. You hear AI in every 3 words in a sentence. For me personally, based on what I'm seeing with our partners and across the technologies that we roll out to their customers, being a technology MSP or managed service provider today means being at the very forefront of this transformative change. And it's happening so fast. It's revolutionizing how businesses work, whether you're a very SMB or we call it Pax8 IBB. We have a new segment. It's called IBB, or the itty bitty business, right? Or whether you're a large enterprise customer or business. So we need to make sure that as an MSP community, that we are at the very front of this, driving efficiency, innovation, and we have to stay competitive because there are a lot of AI technologies out there. But for me too, apart from MSP, we have a community of MSSPs, which actually lead with security with any type of AI adoption within their customers and their organization. So I just wanted to highlight that a bit. It's not just also always about AI and the MSP, but we always start with security with everything, most especially when it comes to data center optimization.
It's wonderful to hear. You might have heard about our Secure Futures initiative and how we've also put it in the forefront of our priorities here at Microsoft. So we'll piggyback on that in a later question that we have for you, Angelika. But staying on topic on this AI trend, it's a lot has changed for the MSPs, is particularly in the SMB front that you so heavily invested in. So what is the biggest trend or the biggest trends that you see specifically in the SMB market, and particularly those that you might have not been even aware of 2 years ago and that are now very salient?
Yeah, that's very important, and I think like when we can take a step back and make that observation, it's so crucial and very interesting to see how maybe 2-3 years ago, SMBs are not that embracing towards new technologies, but today there's this significant shift in digital transformation and cloud adoption, but also new technology adoption. Right? The SMBs are looking ways to automate processes. They want to improve customer experiences. And I've talked to partners where they have small customers, but they have a lot of data, and they want to utilize and get the insights from the data and drive even more efficiencies and productivity and profitability, but they don't know where to start. But they know they have to start. So enablement is at the very forefront of our MSP community too. Like how do we move as fast as this technology that is moving? It does. We've heard this so much has been said. The compelling event or the pandemic has accelerated the shift. More SMBs now are more agile and willing to invest into technology, and most especially if it's the right investment when it comes to their dollars, because we're seeing optimization in terms of cost and budgets as well.
Yeah. I think the constant focus on optimization and investing in the right areas is just a constant focus, I would say, of the partner channel. And I think to that point, if you kind of put yourself in the shoes of an MSP, Angelika, and you pretend that, you have that private cloud today and it's a profitable business, what do you see as the urge to consider a public or a hybrid cloud practice? And maybe when you talk to other partners as well, what shifts are you seeing them make where they say, hey, I do have this profitable private cloud business, but I think more of my future may be in the public cloud. Like, what's your perspective on that?
So it depends on the scenario, but for me, what I'm seeing is that while having your own data centers or private cloud be profitable, when you consider the hybrid cloud practice and all the offers that come along with it, it does have those advantages in profitability as well. It's just a matter of uncovering what those are, which I'm seeing that a lot of our partners do not know how they can also be as much, if not more profitable when it comes to adopting a public cloud practice as well. So one example would be a public cloud will allow you to adopt technology, scale it and scale it and be flexible, scale fast and go to market faster, as opposed to a purely private cloud practice. So we're seeing that when it comes to production, we're seeing MSPs and providers put that in public cloud because of scalability. But also, there are sometimes events when it comes to support and resiliency. The public cloud is preferred. So as long as you have the right infrastructure set up, and it's architected in a way where it's best for your business and your customers, I think the public cloud has to be part of your practice. I do believe that it's always mixed cloud anyway. That before we were championing 100% pure cloud, but there's always that hybrid mix for sure.
And I love that you, throughout this conversation, mentioned, the importance of enablement, that you lead with that, and every time we hear, about challenges, we always mention, here's the DCO team, here we are to help. And just like we are, Pax8 is there for all the MSPs you work with. So can you speak more to that and what it relates specifically to the Azure practice? What are the top 2-3 things that you provide that you believe are really there to help untap those opportunities that you were mentioned that are even better than the private cloud?
Yeah, well, in partnership with your team, of course, we are able to serve our MSPs when it comes to their cloud practice. At Pax8, we're very proud to talk about and champion Pax8 Academy. This is how we scale fast with our partners when it comes to enablement, anywhere from one-to-one coaching to one-to-many or to on-demand courses. We have that. We have a very, very specific to DCO courses at Pax8 Academy. We regularly have hands-on lab sessions with our partners, especially those that are in the DCO program. Because what we don't want to leave our partners is that they're not able to support the infrastructure that they built for their customers. And that is continuous. And we've seen higher rates of adoption in the public cloud practice when our MSPs do invest time and effort when it comes to partner enablement sessions like a hands-on lab. This is where they really get to test. And for a Pax8 partner, this is actually free, right? So they just need to invest their time and find the right people within their organization to come and learn how to manage their cloud infrastructure under Azure. We have so many. We have programs that build you from zero to hero when it comes to your cloud practice. I know that sounds so cliche, but it really is. I think one of the main things that I really love today with the DCO, which I think, Adam, we've been doing DCO for a long time, way back when I was still also working under an SI. But the IAR program for the very, very small, not business, but those that are starting in Azure and very new to Azure, the indirect activation rewards program, if I'm correctly quoting the acronyms. Okay, great. Microsoft acronyms, want to make sure. So the IAR program has really helped us as an indirect provider to enable our partners that are starting in Azure. So I think if you're an MSP today, you're thinking, well, where do I start? Ask your MSP or Adam and Fede about the IAR program as well. So.
No, perfect. I appreciate that plug. And I think, Pax8, you guys have a really robust DCO motion where, I think you have, from my perspective and what we hear from partners, you have support, from partners that may have a small practice on an Azure standpoint. Maybe it's a single customer even, and they're really kind of looking to ramp. And then I see the value that you provide kind of on the, partners that have millions and millions of dollars in Azure and are continuing to kind of grow and drive that transformation. I think we kind of touched on a little bit of sort of the technical enablement that you all offer. Maybe you could speak to some of the go-to-market support, or how does the kind of the go-to-market motion change for partners as they're working, really with kind of the Microsoft cloud now versus maybe leading with a private cloud type of solution? Like maybe you could kind of touch on how you help support that go-to-market motion as well, perhaps?
Yes. So I think within the channel, it's well known with the different vendors and organizations that we work with. Pax8 does everything at scale. So when we think of our go-to-market strategy, it's scalability for us. Kind of thinking about your infrastructure too. When we think of enablement and supporting our partners, it's at scale. So for example, specifically to DCO, what we have is what we call an Azure Kickstart program. And we provide this and offer this globally to our partners. So not just in North America. I know I covered North America, but we provide this globally. And it's a guided growth journey, or when it comes to onboarding, starting with Azure, ensuring a smooth and efficient transition to Azure if you're moving anything on-prem, or maybe your SPLA hosting onto the cloud, and just finding the right solution. And what's very helpful, or what's good to know for the partners, that yes, we do it at scale, we do it real well as Pax8. However, it's also good to know that Microsoft is right behind us when it comes to these things. Like we have your team that's also working with the MSPs. So if you're in a DCO program and then you're also in Kickstart, that's a win formula for any managed service provider that wants to start their cloud transformation and moving onto Azure, because then you have two great organizations that will just support you. I think that would be, if I'm an MSP, that would be my go-to-market strategy when it comes to cloud. Like who has the right program that support each other and that will take me to where I need to be with the right tool set as well. So, yeah.
Angelika, it's time. I promised you we were going to go back to the security conversation, but it's just so important that everybody talks about the possibilities of AI, and that's critical, but just as critical it is to make sure those are in a secure place for everybody to trust that their data is safe. So as security is a shared priority that we both stated we have, how do you support your partners in this process, and particularly those who haven't focused on security yet?
Yeah, I mean, let's start with a plug of our security bootcamp that's coming up. So please go to our Pax8 website and sign up to join our security bootcamp. But even in our other in-person and virtual events, for example, our mission briefings is what we call it, is where we go to your city, find the MSPs, learn about Pax8, what we do, and how we can help grow your business, learn about our robust marketplace, and find out what we do. But even there, security is where we start. We talked about all the security solutions and enablement that we provide. I think it's very important. I know we say security is important, but you have to start there, even with your productivity solutions. I really appreciate how Microsoft has shifted the message into secure productivity and not just productivity, because we want to always drive efficiencies and productivity, and we want to sell, and we want to earn, and we get revenue and profit, but we want to do this very responsibly. And we also want to do this very responsibly, most especially with AI. So that's important to us. We actually have the very first in North America Security Center of Excellence, Microsoft Security Center of Excellence. So Sharon Schoenborn at that time announced this as Pax8 Beyond 2024. And we have that now. We have that team to support all the Microsoft MSPs when it comes to their Microsoft security practice. And that goes across the board, where it's your infrastructure, or whether it's your productivity, or your whole organization. So that's important to us. Like, we've invested, and Microsoft also is in partnership with that one.
Yeah, we definitely appreciate all of the work and really the close partnership to help support partners from both an AI and a security standpoint. I think you really can't do one successfully without the other, right? They really kind of go hand in hand.
Hey, Adam, I just wanted to add, I remember one thing too. I think it's also important to note, if just in case, SMBs, not just MSPs, are watching this, it's very important today to have your cybersecurity insurance, because you'll never know. Most of the time, you don't think you're the one who's going to be at risk. You won't know until you do, right? But what has helped is also within the industry, the insurers also prioritize security. They understand, if I'm signing you up under our cybersecurity insurance, it's not just multi-factor authentication that I need from you. I need to know that your infrastructure is secured as well, because that's where everything that someone would want to take data from. And if not, then we're not signing up. So whether you're an SMB or an SMC, or that's right, you're going to have some insurance. So we see a lot of the different parts of our businesses or this industry take that and really prioritize security and build it into the practice that we need it all to be. So I think everyone within the channel is already aligning towards that. It's just a matter of what works best for my current infrastructure and my productivity suite.
Yeah, definitely. So we do have on our website a form, dco.microsoft.com is our website. We've got form there for any organization that is looking to get connected to us or our partners that we work with through the channel. So you can select Pax8 in that form if you'd like to get connected to the great folks there. At the same time, Angelika, are there any other resources you want to mention for MSPs to learn more about, or how to get in touch? I know you did mention kind of that upcoming boot camp, and really the boot camps that you run all year round.
Yes. So on our website, we actually plug all of the channel events that we attend for Pax8, so you can learn about our marketplace, to highlight how our marketplace will drive the performance and efficiencies that you need for your business, the scalability, cost management, the reliability and uptime of our marketplace, also opportunity export. There's so many features that I really, really hope that all the MSPs that are watching and listening to the show check out. The other thing I do want to plug is that we actually are going to be at Microsoft Ignite in November in Chicago. I will personally be there, and a huge part of our team will be there. Please stop by our booth, say hello. Would love to talk and chat with you there. And if you haven't signed up yet, if it's still open, I am hearing like there's limited tickets to the very first Microsoft Inspire Ignite for this year. So we'll see you there.
Adam and I will also be there. So we'll stop by your booth. We'll take you up on that.
There you go.
And we might even record an episode at Ignite. We're still figuring out the details. But yeah, especially you mentioned you had all these announcements you can't share yet. So you either record it then or whenever you're ready. We'll definitely have you back, Angelika. We're on record here that you said you'd be back with even more exciting stuff at some point. But no, thank you. We'll put all the links to the things to make it easier on the listener to go to your boot camps and stay in touch. And we can't thank you enough for taking some time off your day to talk to us and share some of those practices.
No, I appreciate it. Really appreciate this. Thanks, Adam. Thanks, Fede.
Of course, and for our listener, as you heard Adam, you can reach out to us and connect with Pax8 through dco.microsoft.com. We're also on LinkedIn in our Hybrid Cloud Partners community. And make sure to subscribe to this podcast because we have more good stuff coming your way. We hope you enjoyed today's episode. Stay tuned for more insights and stories from Microsoft's data center optimization team. Be sure to stay connected at dco.microsoft.com or wherever you get your favorite podcasts.